What is up, guys? Welcome back to another video, and today we're going to be doing a prediction video on Mpl Invitational. Alright, so we see the drafts here that the coach made. Like, for example, Bren Esports, we have Coach Ducky that drafted Aura Fire versus Aura PH. So that's Aura Indo versus Aura PH, and then Onic Indo versus Onic PH. What a freaking troll. So these two orgs are gonna go against each other, and that's gonna be a big ass ripperoni. While RQ Hoshi, they pretty much drafted the best possible team they could every time it was RQ James's turn. Alright, Todak and Burmese Goals, they kind of drafted pretty safe, and they want a higher chance in getting into the final. That's why they drafted not the strongest teams, but the teams that middle ground and lower tier teams. Alright, so let's get right into it. I don't know the format of the tournaments. I don't know if it's a best of 5, best of 3, best of 7 in the final. So I'll just say the winners of each series. And disclaimer, this is my own opinion. Don't get triggered. I'm just gonna base it off of what I know. Alright? If you don't like hearing other people's opinion, this is not the video for you. You should click out right now so you don't get triggered. Alright, but before we start, hit that subscribe button, that like button, and the notification bell. Alright, so we'll go start at Geekfam Indo, BTR Alpha, Resurgence, and Blacklist, the one on the lower left, and then we'll go clockwise from there. Alright, so let's talk about Resurgence and Blacklist. Blacklist have Venus and Wise now. They have the duo, so it's still a new lineup. Technically it's a new roster, so they still have to build up their chemistry. So I think Resurgence will get this one just because it's still a new lineup. Alright, they still need to work with each other for Blacklist International. So I think this is going to be an RSG, honestly. RSG right here. Alright, hopefully you guys can see that. My webcam is blocking a little bit, but that is Resurgence for this first one, right? Just because they're a new lineup. That's the only reason why. I mean, if they played together for a long time, I would pick Blacklist, honestly, but they haven't shown anything yet. From what I know, Resurgence is really strong as well. Alright, moving on to the next one. Geekfam Indo versus BTR Alpha. I think BTR should be able to take this one. BTR. They rank higher, plus BTR Alpha was actually able to put Alter Ego on the lower bracket on the last MPL Indo playoffs. So that's why you put BTR Alpha right there. Okay, moving on the top. Omega PH versus Aerowolf. Okay, Omega should have this. Alright, Omega should have this one. OMG. Alright, so I think Aerowolf got into this bracket because Hoshi didn't have any other teams that no other strong teams that James was gonna pick, so they put Aerowolf there. That was like the last Indonesian or PH team. Alright, now this is gonna be a good one. Evos Legends, they have Anti-Mage, they have LJ, they have Evos Rec, they have Luminaire, and they have Pendragon. That is a freaking solid lineup. But then again, same thing with Blacklist. It's still a new roster and a new lineup. So meaning they still have to build chemistry before they could be good. They also have LJ, right, from RQ. So I think this is still going to be Alter Ego though. This is still going to be Alter Ego. AE. There you go. Moving on to the next one. We have Aura Fire versus Aura PH. Alright, so I think this is going to be Aura PH, honestly. So let's just put APH. Alright, if you're asking why, Aura Fire was like last seed, or yeah, they were the last place for MPL Indo last season, I believe. And Aura PH, they just disappointed on the playoffs. But right now, they have a new lineup. Right, they have a new lineup, and they're gonna get even stronger, I believe. They have Benny Cutie now and Hades. That's freaking insane. And they have Kilowash as well. They have Greed, and they have Reflesha for the tank. So that is a fucking solid lineup if they build up their chemistry. Alright, so I think RPH will win there. Next one, Onic Indo versus Onic PH. We gotta remember, Anti-Mage is not in Onic Indo anymore. So that's gonna be a big hit. But I think that's about it. Other than that, they could lose Anti-Mage without affecting the chemistry too much. Right, because he's a side laner. Right, what matters is the core, mage support, and tank. So Onic Indo still has those core players, right? So I think this is still going to be Onic Indo. And another reason why is because Kyrie is on Onic PH now. They lost Venus, their shot caller, so they don't have a good shot caller anymore. They have Jay, who has a lot of experience, but he's going to be going back to shot calling again, and I don't know if he's going to do good at it. And I feel like Jay's hero pool is just not enough for them to beat Onic Indo. Alright, that's just my own opinion right there. They have Marky, they have Dilar, who's probably the best offlaner in PH, but it doesn't matter. You need a floor general, and you need to be really strategic, especially against onic Indo. onic Indo was like number 1 at some point last season, and then Alter Ego went up, and then RQ Hoshi went up as well during the playoffs. So I still think this is onic Indo. Alright, let's just do OID for onic Indo. There you go. Hopefully my reasoning, they're logical and reasonable. No, I'm not hating on PH teams. I have a reason to why onic Indo is going to win against onic PH. I'm not putting it out there just because I hate onic PH. So now, Orange Lu versus evos SG. I think evos SG should take this one. evos SG. I'm not sure if Soul still plays for them. I think I heard something like Soul is going to retire soon. I don't know if he's retired already. But other than that, evos SG is still a solid fucking lineup. evos SG. Evos for this one. There you go. Execration versus Ronin Esports. This should be Exe. Exe should be able to win this one. Ronin Esports is from Myanmar, I believe. I mean, I don't have a lot of information about them, but Burmese Golds is like a monopoly in Myanmar MPL. They just always win every fucking season. It's always Burmese Golds, Burmese Golds. And Ronin Esports, never heard much from them. I know Burmese Golds is really good. Ronin Esports, on the other hand, I don't know. But I still think it's going to be Exe, even with the rookie teams. Alright, they have 2 rookie players. They have Kelra, and I forgot the other guy. But let's move on to the next one. Alright, moving on to BTR versus Resurgence. I think BTR should take this one. I'm pretty sure BTR still has the same lineup. If they still have the same lineup from last season, I think Bigatron Alpha should definitely take this one against Resurgence. Alright, Resurgence is still really good though. Alright, BTR. So it's going to end up being Todak versus BTR. Okay? So now, moving on up. Alter Ego versus OMG. I think Alter Ego has this one. They got RQ Hoshi to game number 5. And it's going to be another rematch, Alter Ego versus RQ Hoshi. Alright, so I think this is going to be Alter Ego. There you go, Alter Ego. Alright, moving on to the next one. RPH versus onic Indo. Now, this is a lot better, and this is probably more on the 50-50. Alright? This is going to be really freaking close. Really, really close. And I think, alright, I think onic Indo might win by a little bit, by like a game, because then again, onic Indo only lost an offlane, which is, it's not gonna impact your strategy or your rotation that much, because their main lineup is still there. The core, the mage support, and the tank. So, but for ROPH, they changed the whole fucking lineup. But they have a lot of talent, but it's still new. So same thing for Blacklist International. And who else was that? Was it Evos Legends? Yeah, same reasoning for Blacklist International and Evos Legends. They have a lot of talent, but it's a new lineup. They still need to build up the chemistry. So this is going to be good experience for them to build up their chemistry. But I think onic Indo has this one for now. For now, just because there's still a new lineup and they're still building up their teamwork with each other and their chemistry. Okay? So onic Indo. Okay? Hopefully you guys understand that. Hopefully we don't get any haters, and hopefully it makes sense. Okay? That's my reasoning. I have reasoning behind why it would be like that. This is just a prediction. Don't take it into heart. Alright, so Evos versus Exe. Now, I think Evos SG will take this one because Exe has the 2 new rookies that haven't really stepped onto the MPL yet, right? Being in an amateur team is way different from being in an MPL team. It's really, really different. And I think Evos will take this one just because they have more experience, and just because Exe has that 2 new rookies, alright? They're still rookies. And this is not even, I don't know if this is considered MPL. It's called MPLI, but it's not the actual MPL season. So I guess it is their first MPL appearance. So Evos, this should be Evos SG right here. Alright, moving on to the next one. Todak versus BTR. Okay, this is a harder one because Todak, I think they were undefeated last season. Alright, and they pretty much dominated MPL Malaysia Singapore. And I think Todak will get this one. I think. Based on their performance last season at least in the playoffs, I think Todak will take it. Even though BTR, they're on the harder region, Indo's the harder region, Todak could definitely take it. Right? TDK. Todak will take this one. Alright? There you go. Hopefully you understand that. There you go. I don't know if they changed the lineup, but if they did lose someone in their lineup, then it might affect their gameplay. But if they have the same lineup as last season for Todak, Because they were good in M1 too. Todak was fucking good. They were unexpected, right? I think they could beat BTR, okay? Just my personal opinion. Hopefully nobody gets triggered, right? Oh man. Okay, next one. RQ Hoshi versus Alter Ego. Shit. Same lineup for both teams, but no LJ for Hoshi. But LJ did not even play in the championship. I still think RQ has this, man. By just a little bit. By just a little bit. This might be a game 5 again. RQ still has this, I think, in my opinion. Right? RQ. But it's a really close game, guys. Like, it's a 50-50. Both teams are, like, almost equal to each other. Right? Almost equal to each other. Alright, next, we got Bren Esports versus Onic Indo. This gonna be Bren. Alright, more on Bren. Bren is sticking with the same lineup. They're the MPL Philippines champion. And they have Coach Ducky, who's pretty open about a lot of strategies, not just Indonesia, not just Philippines. You'll never know. What if he watches MPL Malaysia and Singapore too? I know he does a lot of research, because I could see him watch other streams as well, not just MPL Philippines. Unlike a lot of other coaches, they only watch MPL Philippines, right? Ducky, on the other hand, there's some exceptions. There's some other coaches that watch MPL Indo as well, of course. He really keeps track of like almost all the regions, I believe, especially Indo. Okay, so I think Bren has this. Bren, all right. Bren. Hopefully you guys understand. Now, on the bottom, Burmese Goals versus Evos SG. I think Burmese Goals has this one. A lot of people underestimated Burmese Goals during M1. And people were like, we were on groups, and then people were like, oh, you guys should be able to beat Burmese Goals. They're really, really bad. And you guys should be able to beat Access Esports. They're really, really bad. Well, fuck, they're fucking good, alright? They're really, really good. BG. I think BG has this one. And if you guys remember it, back in M1, Evos SG actually got dropped on their on groups as well. So BG should have this, I think. Especially they're looking good recently. They're looking a lot stronger than ever before recently. So yeah, BG Burmese Goals. I have a lot of respect for these guys. Really underrated. Not really sure why a lot of people don't like them, but BG, super good. Okay, now this is the hard part. So let's do RQ versus Todak first. I think RQ has this. RQ. So let's put RQ right here on the final. Alright. Right there. Even though they're undefeated, again, Indo is a much harder region. And I cannot stress this enough. No trash talk to MPL Malaysia and Singapore, but I'm pretty sure they freaking know as well. It is a much more competitive region, alright, Indo. Now, let's look at Bren versus BG, Burmese Goals. I think Bren has this one. It's gonna be an RQ versus Bren finals. That's what I'm thinking. And this is the hardest part of all. Bren versus RQ. Jesus Christ. Alright. Well, okay. I have a reasoning on this, alright? On the recent scrims, I've been seeing a lot of screenshots that's been going around lately. And apparently, Bren has been beating RQ a lot on scrims. But then again, we don't know, because tournament scene is different from scrimmage. Maybe RQ's using it to experiment metas, experiment other picks and all that stuff. You know, that's what a scrimmage is for. So, scrimmage doesn't mean a lot, but it shows something, I guess. Because I'm seeing a lot of scrimmages. I don't know how they got the screenshots, but apparently Bren has been beating RQ in scrims a lot. Like, I'm seeing different screenshots. So, I might go for Bren here. Yes, I said that scrimmages don't mean a lot. But because of that, since we don't know, like, these guys have never fought each other before, except for scrimmages that they do. But they've never fought against each other on a tournament before, okay? So, because of that, I'll take Bren. But before the scrimmage, before I saw the scrimmage post, it was a 50-50. It was still a 50-50 for me. Because both these teams are really, really flexible. A lot of their players can play a shit ton of heroes. They don't really get banned out. It's more of a battle of coaches for RQ versus Bren, honestly. It's Ducky versus James. Whoever has the better draft wins. Both teams play methodically. Both teams play smart. Both teams are pretty disciplined. They're both really good. But I think Bren will be... Let's just put them in the middle for champs. Bren will take it just because of that, alright? I know I say scrimmages don't mean anything, but that's the only like difference I could see from both the teams. That was the only thing that I could like take away from it. So yeah, that's my predictions, and let's make a crown, an ugly ass crown. There you go. Bren, there you go. Bren's gonna be the champion for MPLI. Just a prediction, alright? This is just prediction. Don't be triggered if you're an RQ fan. Because I'm an RQ fan too. I love Coach James. He coached me. But I don't know, man. What do you guys think? Comment on the comment section below who you guys think is gonna win the grand finals, or you know, have your own bracket. Have your own bracket in the comment section below. And that is it for my predictions. Hopefully nobody gets triggered. Please, this is just for entertainment, content purposes. And that is it. Don't forget to like and subscribe. Don't forget to hit the bell button. And that will be all. Bye, guys. Peace.